Before we begin, I have a quick announcement that there will be less videos coming out over the next month or two. This is because my calendar is going to get very busy with school stuff coming back up and stuff, which means I'll have less content for this channel, but I will be trying to get down to Tito Park as soon as I can. So I hope you understand, and let's begin with the video. So sorry for the unusual beginning, and we're just going to jump straight into the time lapse, and we're going to begin with the carousel. Now, the carousel has gone through, like a lot of the other rides at Barry's, has gone through a lot of changes over the years, including a massive refurbishment of the attraction in 2018, where it became like more classical. Before, it was this different colour scheme, as well as the middle had like these old photos of Portrush and Barry's, but now it's been changed, and those sections are full of mirrors. There's also behind it a Colin Quinn memorial, which I've never noticed, but I have noticed it recently. Now, Colin Quinn was a guy who used to work at Barry's, he used to run the hobby horses, and he was a legend. Unlike a lot of amusement park employees, except for the ones at travelling fairs, he was extremely friendly, with the iconic phrase being, "Are you looking after your wee mammies?" He was great fun, but I've only encountered him once operating the hobby horses, which was back in around 2012. There's a lot of footage of Colin Quinn operating the hobby horses, especially the documentary Jimmy Nesbitt did about him. It wasn't really on the scale of the Big Barry's Amusements documentary that the BBC did, except this one was basically just like Jimmy Nesbitt talking about the different places around Ireland and Northern Ireland, and he mentioned Barry's Amusements. In that short segment as well, he did have a short interview with the two owners of Barry's Amusements. Now, this carousel was extremely easy to do, and I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. You can't ride it, but at least it looks good, and I've heard stuff that this carousel is actually very old. According to some reports, I've heard that this carousel first debuted on the travelling fair circuit in 1892. The ride arrived at Barry's in around the 1950s after it was gone through several different owners. And in around 1995, the whole ride was refurbished. But now we are moving on to the floor, as well as off camera. I did build the kiddie rides that are around the back, as well as I know there's like these two benches that look at it. As well as I added the Colin Quinn memorial around the back, which I did off camera because the whole camera thing cut. This is because Xbox only allows the screen recordings up to 10 minutes, so basically it just randomly cut out at 10 minutes. But now we're moving on to the Mini Dodgems, which is basically, like I said, the smaller alternative to the Dodgems. Now, I built these very similar to the other Dodgems that I built about 2 episodes ago. The top of the Dodgem track bit the artwork bit has gone through a lot of changes over the years, mainly just the top bit changing artwork. Originally, it was like this, the original Monte Cairo artwork. If you've seen that, it was basically the same as that, basically just all these random colours and shapes, but then it was changed to like these little cars. Also, traffic lights were added to the top, which was a nice little feature as it was just mini bumper cars. But I didn't add the artwork until later, mainly because I then found out that it made the structure too tall, so then off camera I fixed it. At this point I don't realise. I also built the track the same way as the other Dodgem track, which was basically ice so the carts can move. Right now the carts for the Dodgems are lying right next to the Extreme Orbiter booth. That is in the area where the kiddie rides used to be, all the massive groups of kiddie rides. So now I'm building the ceiling. A little bit of the ceiling was cut out, like, because I find the ceiling part very boring, as well as building the artwork bit, like the top bit of the Dodgems. I lowered that down. I also added in the windows, which through the windows you get that little view of the Big Dipper turn. Sometimes you can even see the Extreme Orbiter operating through the Big Dipper thing. So now I'm adding in the electrical rack. This one doesn't really spark as much as the one on the other Dodgem track, mainly because it doesn't go as fast. Now I'm building a little bit of the floor. I'm just gonna now spam a few kiddie rides, of course in the same order, like I said for the arcade machines. But of course before I do that I have to add in the windows, of course in the same design as size. So now we're building the kiddie rides, also coin operated rides, and we're beginning with the really small digger machine one. Now, a few of these kiddie rides have these photo opportunity things on it. Last time I checked, there's now none of them now. There's also a kiddie coaster kiddie ride in there, which basically you can simulate riding the big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It would have been cool though if they were able to simulate riding the Big Dipper. That would be cool. Now, to finish today's episode, we're just going to finish off by building the other side of the arcade, finishing the arcade, as well as adding in the bench. First of all, I added in the 2 token machines, which actually never work. So, of course, you don't have to waste your money on so you don't have to waste your hard-earned cash on a broken token machine that doesn't even refund you. I also added in some slot machines, and that concludes today's time lapse. So that concludes episode 8 of Building Barry's Amusements in Minecraft. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for more content like this, especially since we'll be going down to Tato Park for lots of good rides down there. In tomorrow's episode, we'll be building the one you waited for, the one and only Big Dipper. Now that leaves me with only one last thing to say. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.